Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Stu, and this is Fabius Flatlands for Rollercoaster Tycoon Classic, part 43 of the VJ scenario pack. Flat, hot, and known by few is the land you must develop into a park. Gaining guests will be harder, and taking a loan out is not recommended. Your objective to have at least 4,000 guests in your park at the end of October. You're 10 with a park rating of at least 600. So quite a long scenario then. So I'm gonna have to think about how I'm gonna do this video. 4,000 guests is fairly high, but since we've got 10 years, it should be fine. It does say gaining guests will be harder, so that is kind of like a clue. Maybe there's harder guest generation, or maybe something else. And taking a loan out is not recommended. Why is it not recommended? Wow, 75% interest rate. So yeah, taking a loan out is not recommended, but we've got 18,000 cash and none of that is a loan. So we haven't got to pay anything back straight away. Wow, they weren't joking when they said about the flatland. I don't know what Fabius means. We've got like the western, but not the western. That's weird. So we've got some western sort of buildings down, but not any western scenery unlocked. Okay. Right. So we're gonna need a lot of guests. We've probably got harder guest generation. So I think before we think, let's see what we got. We've got some transport rides. We've got some gentle rides. We've got some coasters, none of which would be my first choice. Some thrill rides, some water rides, and not a great selection of shops. Since we're playing for 10 years, let's put our research first into shops, at least probably for the first year. Right, so we're gonna need a lot of guests, which means we're gonna need a lot of pathing because we don't want there to be a lot of overcrowding and we want a lot of rides. If there is harder guest generation, then what will happen is once we get up to around about 1,000 guests, it is going to start flatlining. So I think I'll start putting down as many flat rides as I can, nice big queues, that sort of thing. Spam whatever rides we've got because we want to start getting a nice, cheap and profitable park from the word go because we don't want to have to borrow anything, and then later on we can look at coasters. Okay, October year one then. So what I've done is I've got a little slope down, a little underground section and a slope up because I've put in this river rafts station. You can't alter the height on them, and I don't want to build it too far above the ground. I want to have it on the ground. So it's either basically going over or under. I'm not sure if I am going to use a river raft, but we'll keep it there as a placeholder. Then we go in, we've got my favored 4x4 paving up the middle with shops and some seating areas. And then either side in a 10x10 grid, we've got some 3D cinemas and we've got some drop towers just there. And then up the top, we've got space rings. I know space rings are rubbish, but they will bring guests in and they will be able to be, we can use them as a placeholder for better rides. So basically any ride that has got a 3x3 footprint, we can just delete one of these and then put in a 3x3 on top. And we've already got all the pathing and exit and all that done. So that'll be cool. So I think I'm probably going to put some more drop towers this side in the empty space. Guest numbers, not doing so great. I need to keep that park rating above 850 in order to keep the guests happy and coming in. Yeah, looking at how spiky the park rating is, it could be that we've got guests, what's that? Guests are harder to please or whatever it's called. Yeah, that could be enabled as well. But yeah, so far, I'm quite happy with this. We're making a couple of thousand every month. We've got loads of guests in the park, not as many as we need, but to begin with, because once we start putting down the big money earners, the money will roll in. And I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch my research onto thrill rides. So we'll research them for at least the next year. So like I said, we've got these down. We can swap them out for better rides. We could do the same with the drop towers and the 3D cinemas as well, because eventually what will happen is guests will get bored of these rides. They'll be old. They won't want to pay. The rides will be old, not the guests, but they won't want to ride them on them anymore, and then it's just better just to swap them out. So yeah, so just carry on as we are, I think. October year 2, guest numbers pretty much stagnant. There was the flat line. So I'm thinking we've got harder guest generation, which is fine. We got the park rating up on maximum, so that's great. Right, so we filled in that blank area with some more drop towers. We're getting some good money now every month. We've got, I can't remember what they're called. Top spin. Just down there. I have to paint these, and then I'm quite pleased with these. Not the enterprises. I mean, we've got 4 of them, but we can always swap them out for something else. You know, if we can unlock a Dodgems or something, that'll fill a 4x4 grid. But just here, we've used the Virginia reel. Now, the thing with a Virginia reel is it only needs 2 drops and a distance of around, I can't remember, whatever 600 meters is, in feet. So what it does is it comes out of the station and it drops down, and then it goes underground. It does snake around a bit just to get the extra distance, and then it comes up to the next station, and then it drops down from this station and does the same back to the other station. So that's the 2 drops, and we're making some decent cash off them. Transport tubs, I'm calling it. But the thing with this is, because they're not long enough for a start, and they're not exciting enough to be able to check off the harder guest generation criteria, because you need to have coasters that are over, I think it's 2,000 feet and 6.5 excitement. So yeah, so what I'm thinking of doing now is we're going to research roller coasters. Because these ones they're just not very good. I mean, I can do them. It's just that we're going to want something with more throughput so we can make more cash. Now I'm thinking what I might do is I might use, rather than going 12 by 12 with these, we've got so much space, we might branch off to whatever, let's say there and there, whatever that is, in a big square. So what's that, about probably 20 by 20, I suppose, or 22 by 22, whatever it is. We'll do that in a big square. That'll give us a huge amount of space to work with, and then we can do another 2 this side, but that's for something down the road. For now, we'll just crack on with the first coaster and see how we do.